understand why we all just can't get along. I mean, yeah, I got a little melanin, I got a little melanin, I got a little melanin, but we both humans. I mean, come on now.
If white lives are actually getting lost by the hands of the police, y'all should be up there rioting. But I guess I understand now why a lot of white people aren't fighting, because if you won't even stand up for yourself, why would you stand up for other people?
You can try to drag me down, but I'll be living in the clouds. Everybody has their doubts, but you can't stop now. You just gotta live.
I get cold easily, so blanket. And I'm gonna have my laptop with me because that's my notes. Alrighty. I want to say excuse for all the noise. My brother is watching the movie and then my sister's in this room. So if there's some background noise, that's what's going on. Hello, my name is Ebubechi and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing like a little talk about some things that I've been seeing on the interwebs. The internet, the trolls, the people that don't understand, just the everything, along with the everything that's just going on with the Black Lives Matter movement right now. Ready. So all of what I'm going to talk about is on here. If I think of random other stuff to talk about, I'll bring it up. But leave y'all comments or thoughts in the description, comment down below your thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. So I was just editing my video and I realized me talking about Karen was kind of vague. I'm gonna still include some clips of what I said the first time, but I just want to like be a little more clear, coherent, all of that. First, I want to start off by reading off what the definition of a slur. Okay. So the definition of a slur is a derogatory or insulting term applied to a particular group of people. That is what a racial slur is. So the N-word, what the Italians are called, I'm gonna write it in. What's another slur? Gringo. What Latinos and Latinas call white people. Those are all slurs. Karen is not a slur. The reason why Karen even came up is because white people were using their white privilege, which I will speak on white privilege later on in the video. They were using their white privilege to get things by, like just get the cops to come and call and arrest us. Or y'all would do some racist stuff that would need to be called out. And most of the time, it was white people using their white privilege, their white tears, their white whatever to get their way. Calling you Karen is to call you out.
Continue serving, continue serving.
You need to leave. You're not a part of this. You need to leave. You're not a part of this. No. No, you do not come in here and use the F word and swear and call me a B-I-T-C-H.
I never even said that
I said she is, and you're not a part of it.
that word.
So you get out of here. I know. I said she is, and that's why she's leaving. So you will leave too.
No. This is going all over the internet. You don't know who I am. You told her to go back to her country where she's from.
That's assault.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Where were you born? Where were you born, bitch? I was born in America, bitch. Where are your ancestors from? They're not from this country. You're going back to Mexico. Bitch, you better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into her. Excuse me.
Hey, bitch, you just touched me.
Wow,
Oh my God.
Yep, you deserved it.
Oh my God.
In my opinion. Yeah, you pushed her and she smacked you. That was self-defense on her part.
Oh, she grabbed me.
Nope.
Please.
This person is getting called, like, this is a person that I'd call a Karen. There's still people naming themselves Karen. My grandmother is named Karen, so it's not a racist term. Okay. It's just to call people out on their BS. That's the only reason why you're called Karen. If someone calls you a Karen, it's because you did some BS and you was going to get called a Karen because we was going to call you out. That's the only reason you was getting called Karen. So it wasn't out of racism. It wasn't to degrade you or make you feel less than, like the N-word. N-word's to make you feel less than, to degrade you. Karen's not to degrade you or make you feel less than. It's to call you out on your BS that you've been doing with your racistness. If you did something racist, if you did something that was stupid along with race, that had anything to do with racism, colorism, anything, mainly racism, we calling you out and you're going to be called a Karen. So if you don't want to be called a Karen, don't be racist. But it looks like it's a very hard task to do. Next on my list is Breeze. Now, Drew Brees has been squashed, dealt with, all that jazz. I'm not nailing the man to the cross for what he said, but there is something that he did say that I just found very interesting. He said, kneeling for the flag is disrespectful. My grandfather fought for this country. Y'all act like black people didn't fight for this country too. Like, when people sit here and say, my grandfather fought for this country, it's disrespectful to kneel for the flag. It's like, black people been fighting for y'all since before y'all even had y'all independence. We were fighting in the Revolutionary War with y'all by your side. And just to write us into your Declaration of Independence? Y'all ain't do it.
5 presidents who owned slaves. George Washington, first president, founding father, and owner of 300 slaves. Thomas Jefferson, 3rd president, founding father, owner of 600 slaves, and fathered slave children. Now that's how you capitalize on your investment. Way to go, Tom. James Madison, 4th president, founding father, owner of 100 slaves, and proposed the 3/5 compromise. Always good to feel almost human. James Monroe, 5th president, founding father, but only owner of 75 slaves. Gotta get your chips up, James. Andrew Jackson, 7th president, founder of the Democratic Party, and owner of 200 slaves. There were 12 presidents who owned slaves, but only had time for 5 in this video.
If you go to the comments on his TikToks for this video, you'll see that someone mentioned, oh well, slavery was legal around this time. So, 4 out of the 5 presidents he mentioned were founding fathers. They were there when that Constitution was written. They could have spoken up and said, hey, slavery should be abolished, and they chose not to. And then years later, we're still fighting by our side. For the Civil War, we was fighting by our side. To the 1900s. And the funny thing about the 1900s, this is the time I'm assuming his Drew Brees' grandfather's alive. I don't know what time. I don't know if it was late 1800s or early 1900s. I'm going to go with early 1900s. But around that time, you had black people fighting for America in the U.S. war, where they had 2 separate, military stations because, white people and black people couldn't mix. Had black nurses specifically for the black people, and then you had white nurses specifically for white nurses, and that's very divisive for 2 groups fighting for the same country. It's like, why you got 2 separate nurses, 2 separate this, 2 separate that, but we're going to skip all that. And here's the main thing I want to focus on. Like, simple things as if I were to put my body on the line to say someone in my group, I forgot what the military calls their groups, but say someone in my group was about to get hurt, I put my body out and saved their neck. I saved them from from dying, basically. that award would not go to that black individual at that time of the early 1900s. They wouldn't get the award because they were black. That was the only reason. So they would give it to somebody else that was white, even though they rightly would supposed to get that award. And to this day, there are some black people that are now getting their awards for things that they did. Fruit flies. There are people that are now getting their awards for things that they did in 1900s, like early 1900s, that they weren't able to accept because of their skin color. So when y'all sit there and say, oh, my father fought for this country and this and that, it's like, okay, but our fathers did too. And if I were to compare, if a black, not my grandfather specifically, if a black person's African American great, did he say great grandfather or grandfather? I don't remember. Either great grandfather or grandfather were to compare it to Breeze's great grandfather or grandfather's story of being in the military, you'll have two different versions of how they were treated, how they, like, the inequality was there. Like, but y'all act like white people were the only ones that fought in there sometimes. I'd also like to say that you had a lot of black people that weren't free fighting for your side for nearly 300 years, and till the 1950s, they didn't have full rights, yet they were still fighting in y'all military, and y'all continue to sit here and try to make us guilty, like, oh, my grandfather fought for this country. It's disrespectful. Yet we were fighting for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for all, yet the people fighting in your military aren't even free. They didn't even have full rights. Riddle me that. Next thing is the flag, of course, the flag. The beautiful flag, the red, white, and blue. 13 for the 13 colonies and the 50 for the 50 states stars. The flag to me represents liberty and justice for all. Clearly, there's not justice for all. So, and this is regard to the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's a pledge that we say to the flag I know, like, schools do it every single day. Some schools are forcing students to do that. And if your school is forcing you to stand up and you can sue your school for doing that. Like, if you're... I remember, like, at my school, teacher tried to write me up for being disrespectful because I didn't stand up. I don't remember what happened. There was something that happened that I felt as if, why am I standing up for this flag saying justice for all when it's clearly not justice for all? So I didn't stand up that day. And she tried to write me up for being disrespectful and was all up in my face saying, oh, you know, she was actually a Latina. Actually, it was my Spanish teacher before y'all even had judgment. She was my Spanish teacher, and she was all like, my brother fights for this country, is disrespectful. I was like, baby, so you think because I'm sitting that someone in my family doesn't fight for this country? My uncle fights for this country. And guess what my uncle is fighting for? He's fighting for me for the right for me to sit down. He's fighting for me for the right to stand up. He's fighting for me for the right to kneel. So whatever I choose, he's fighting for that right. Okay? That's what he chose to do. My uncle's fighting for this country. So you can't blackmail me or make me feel guilty because your little brother or whoever, your big brother, little brother, decided to fight for this country that won't fight for you. But that's your business. I was like, first off, you're a Latina. You think they're going to fight for you too? I was like, I'm sorry, I'm starting to rant. Let me just chill out. But it's the truth. It's like, you think they're gonna fight for you too? They're in the Latin communities, over policing in the Latin communities and over policing in the black communities. Like, don't even get it twisted. Like, she act like she better than, like, baby. But the real tea is, it's not justice. It's not liberty and justice for all. So if it's not preaching what I'm supposed, if I'm not pledging to what y'all are preaching, then why am I standing? I don't understand why I have to stand, or how that's disrespectful. What's really disrespectful is for nearly 400 years, that was y'all pledge, and y'all still had slaves. Now that's disrespectful, in my opinion. But y'all can fight me in the comments about that one. Now, all lives matter. I have a problem with that. And honestly, let me be blatantly honest and clear. I really wouldn't have a problem with all lives matter, but there's a trend. There's a trend that I notice. I pick it up. You'll only scream all lives matter when people say Black lives matter. Black lives matter. All lives matter. All lives matter. Your life's not any higher than this life. All lives matter. And if that was the only time y'all would say that, honestly, I'd kind of look at y'all like, whatever, but I wouldn't be so mad. I wouldn't therefore call it anti-black. But here's why I'm going to call all lives matter anti-black. Because if I do the simplest thing as to compliment black women, y'all are in my face. All women are beautiful. Hey, sir, ma'am. When did I say everybody else is ugly and only black women are beautiful? When I'm watching a video full of white women, and I'm like, damn, white women slaying, white women so beautiful. You don't see black women in the comments, all women are beautiful. You don't see Asian women, all women are beautiful. They be like, yes, sis is slaying, yes, sis look good. But as soon as I say, oh dang, I'm watching an African video, be like, dang, African women are so beautiful. Y'all in our comments, I think all women are beautiful. When did I call you ugly? When did I call you ugly? Now, if I sat here and said, dang, white women are ugly, all women are beautiful, okay, sure, go ahead. But I didn't say that. I didn't say black women are ugly. I didn't say Asian women are ugly. I didn't say that. I said, dang, black women are beautiful, because at the moment, the video is showing black women. So I was pointing them out. Like, here's an example. Say you're at a parent-teacher conference thing. I don't know. Actually, not even a parent-teacher conference. You're a student in a classroom, and a teacher decides to compliment one student. This, like, says, blah, 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 you're really smart. Like, I've had teachers in class say, blah, Jamal, you're really smart. Because my teacher said, Jamal, you're really smart, did she just call me stupid? No, she didn't just call me stupid. Jamal just did something at that moment that she decided to acknowledge at that moment. So, what's your problem? What's your problem with black people? Because if we do something as simple as compliment each other, y'all are in our comments, all lives matter. Y'all, all lives matter. All women are beautiful. Like, no one was saying that y'all wasn't. But at the moment, they're showing, like, if I see an Indian video, and then Indian women are saying, I'm like, dang, Indian women are beautiful. He's saying, and then y'all be in my comments, I think all women are beautiful. Like, that's why I call it anti-black. Because it's not even simple thing. It's not even the big picture. Black lives matter. Y'all all lives matter. The most simplest compliments. Just compliments towards black women. Y'all all lives matter. Oh, we all are beautiful. Like, I'm gonna bring up this example. This happened, how many years ago? I don't know. This happened a long time. Gina Rodriguez, when she All Lives Matter the question. I don't even remember. the interviewer was asking Yara about how her being in the movie that they were in, that cartoon movie, I don't even remember. It was some cartoon movie they were in, and how it how her presence in that movie is an inspiration to black women everywhere. Something along that line was the question. Yo, Gina pop up in that ish like she's an inspiration. How does she inspire all women? So Yara's like, yeah, okay, yeah, all women. So she answered it as in all women, right? Which I want to give props to the interviewer, because the interviewer was like, no, specifically black women, because she is a black woman. It makes sense. Specific. So, you know, then the interviewer asked Gina a question, and like the interviewer did not ask anything about her and how she inspired the Latino community. She didn't ask, like the interviewer didn't ask anything that had anything to relate with the Latino community, right? Why did she? And when she answered the question, she answered the question to direct it towards the Latina community, which makes sense because she's a Latino. I mean, she's a Latina. But why didn't you let Yara do the exact same thing? When you started talking about the Latina community, even though, like, he didn't even ask about it, Yara let you talk. Yara didn't say all races, all people, all this. Like, she didn't stop you. She didn't interrupt you. She sat quietly and agreed with you. Yet you couldn't do the same thing for her. That's like, it's just, y'all choose y'all moments when y'all want to all life something. All lives matter something. And because of that, just because of the simplicity thing, the simplest things that y'all would just all lives matter, it's I call it anti-black. That's the reason why. Yes, y'all might say all lives matter includes black, but at the end of the day, it doesn't. Y'all really don't include black. And a lot of y'all that say all lives matter, you know, I check out y'all profiles. Y'all don't speak on other issues. Y'all don't. That's another thing. I'll check out your profiles. Y'all don't speak on any other issues. If there's a white person that's getting injustice, I don't hear y'all speaking on that. I don't see y'all speaking on that. When there's Asian people having injustices, I don't see y'all speaking on that. When there's black people having injustices, I don't see y'all speaking on that. And then, of course, it's the internet, so you can't really judge. You can't really judge a book by its cover on the internet because you can't see everything that goes on. But compared to my friend, my friend, she's Asian. She uses Black Lives Matter. But when there's injustices happening with women, she's speaking out. When there's injustices speaking with Asians, she's speaking out. When there's injustices happening with black people, she's speaking out. When there's injustices, like most of the time that I hear like stuff that's going on within the world is from her, because she's always speaking on everybody. Like, she's the definition of all lives matter, but she still uses the hashtag Black Lives Matter. She fights for all lives, but she still uses that hashtag Black Lives Matter. You can still do that, because guess what? Saying Black Lives Matter does not mean, hold up, I got videos, bro. Let me show you a little something. Hey Google, do all lives matter?
Saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that all lives don't. It means black lives are at risk in ways others are not.
That's what it means. Simple as that. Like, black lives are in danger in ways that white lives aren't. That's why we're saying Black Lives Matter. It's not because we think we're above. We don't think we're holier than thou. It's like, hey, see me here. I'm here. I'm human. I'm just like you. Why don't you protect me too?
Say again?
Look on my skin. wanted like cops kill more white people. So I've been hearing a lot of that one. Whites kill more, statistically, let me say that. Statistically, white people are killed more by the cops than black people. Which then goes into, then they go into the statistic that black people should be more afraid of black people because y'all kill each other more than a white cop will kill you, right? Here's the thing with statistics. It's things that are reported. So you can't be in a statistic if it's not reported. A lot of these deaths, like we say, all these protests that we actually do is the ones that we know about. There are a lot of cops that are killing blacks and it goes under the radar or it's ruled as something else. Like there's this that doesn't have to do with the cops. So look, I don't think it did. She was in a military group. Like they went into her tent or whatever it is, and they found her beaten. She was beaten. She was beaten, and then the wounds on her looked as if someone had beaten her. It wasn't self-inflicted. Yet they ruled it a suicide. How you do that? And then as current as now, like with the George Floyd, like you have two different autopsies. One said it wasn't asphyxiation. One report says it wasn't asphyxiation. The other report said it was asphyxiation. So who lying? What is the cops hiding? They try to. What are y'all like? What? And let's pretend for a second that white people are genuinely getting killed more by the police. Why aren't y'all in the streets? Why aren't y'all saying something? Why are y'all staying quiet? If there are these injustices truly happening, why stay quiet? Because that's still police brutality. Whether it's against a black person, a white person, an Asian person, Latino person, it's still police brutality. So why don't y'all say nothing? That's very interesting to me. I just found that very interesting that y'all always bring that up when we say Black Lives Matter. But then when there's actually injustices happening, so-called across the white community, y'all don't say anything. And for those of y'all that don't say it doesn't make it to the media doesn't tell about the media doesn't tell about these black people getting killed either. Black people are shouting, they're screaming, they're telling them. They're like, hey, look, this is what happened. This is the tea. And if it's big enough to get picked up, it'll get picked up. If it doesn't get picked up, it'll be swept under the radar and we'll just know about it because of Instagram or Facebook. But like it won't be picked up by the news. So yeah, if white lives are actually getting lost by the hands of the police, y'all should be up there rioting. But I guess I understand now why a lot of white people aren't fighting, because if you won't even stand up for yourself, why would you stand up for other people? I had to break this video down into about 3 parts. I'm going to try to keep it at 2, but if I can't, it's going to be ending up being a 3-part series. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. Comment down below that, let's comment down below your thoughts and opinions about what I've had to say so far. And remember, this is part of my 30-day challenge where I am posting a video every single day for the next 30 days at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So get on that. And make sure you turn on that bell so you'll be notified every time the upload goes up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. See, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case